Well, welcome back. Joining us this segment to talk a little ball is one of our favorites, one guy that we've enjoyed talking ball with down at Ninerland the last few years. The, for the moment, retired former 49er offensive lineman, Jon Feliciano. John, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, man. And it's good to hear from you. And I saw that you said, hey, man, I'm retired, but I'm only retired for 27 or 28 teams. There's 3 or 4 I'd consider playing with. The Niners are one of them.
That changes every day.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's between – it usually goes up. There's only – really the only 2 that I ever, haven't changed about is San Francisco and Buffalo. Those are the 2 that I can't say no to.
Why?
One, I believe those 2 teams are the best teams in the league. And, I'm chasing a ring. I'm still chasing that ring.
Yeah.
And also just the time I spent there, my 2 favorite places. The friends I made in San Francisco the last 2 years, it's been great. Christian and George. I went to WrestleMania with George in April.
George is a character, man.
Yeah, I love spending time with him. And McKivitz and Brendel and good old Zakel J and Barch. Those are all my guys. So I would love to be in the building with them and C Mac. I don't know if I said him. I forget.
Bunch of good dudes.
Bunch of good guys. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments from last year. I'm doing an interview of Dom Pooney, and Dom Pooney's probably 6'6" or whatever he goes, 6'5". I'm 6'1", and you come out of the shower and you're like, "Hey, Rook, stand up." And he looks over at you, and then he sees it's you, and he stands up, and that made me laugh.
Yeah, that's my Rook right there, dude.
Yeah,
I had to get him right.
What a great dude he is. Huh?
Yeah, great guy. A guy that comes in with zero ego and eager to learn everything, and I really was able to take him under my wing a little bit last year, and just try to get him right. Try to tell him that we stand up for interviews.
That's awesome. And he did it. And he looked at you and he's like, "Oh, I better do it. Football's unique. Some guys really transition to life after football really easily because they don't miss the violence and they're ready to move on to something else. But some guys, it's really hard because they can't ever get that, that they can't replicate what football brings them, either the adrenaline or the camaraderie, the teamwork, the good friendships, all that kind of stuff that's really intense that you don't necessarily get if you're an accountant or a lawyer or, whatever, a radio host. Do you, now that you're you played a long time and you're kind of a couple steps out, can you see why some guys really struggle with the transition?
Oh yeah. I'm struggling now. It's hard.
What are you struggling with? What are you missing?
Just purpose, really. For the last 20 years of my life, I guess, 19, 20 years, it's all football. The thing that I looked forward to every year was gaining the respect of my teammates and, going to work every day and everyone in that building is going for one thing, and that's to win the Super Bowl. And it's just been different. I don't got no structure right now. When I retired, I had no structure. I'm getting better now. I got a podcast coming out here soon. I'm doing this little movie thing right now. I'm working at Triple F in Knoxville. It's a training facility. So I'm running O-line.
Cool.
O-line sessions with right now high schoolers, and then we have we do combine training as well. So I got some things going on. I'm also building a little farm in Knoxville, so I've been doing that on the side. But nothing is like being with the guys and just the struggle every day of practice and meetings and all that. I miss it a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I scouted with the Cardinals and before that in the Canadian League, and then got into the radio. And I'll tell you, the one thing that I do miss about football is just that you knew at the end of the year if you'd accomplish your goals or not. Whether we were in the Canadian League and did you win the Grey Cup or not? And did you win the Super Bowl or not? And it's like there's a lot of people that do jobs and they're like, I don't know if we're winning. I don't know if I'm successful. I'm not sure if we're doing well. That in pro sports, you either achieved your goal or you didn't. And there's something that's really comforting about the simplicity of that. You got close to the Super Bowl, got really, really close to winning it. How often do you think about the Super Bowl loss?
Quite often.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a tough one, especially against the Chiefs. I mean, those guys always seem to beat me in the postseason. So it's a rough one. And obviously, I got injured, so there's always all those questions of
what if?
What if?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't use my right arm at all, but I always there's a bunch of regret of not trying to go back in. But yeah, I mean it's hard enough to block Chris Jones with two arms, let alone one arm. And you also always got to play the old. You don't want to get anyone else hurt. When you're playing O-line, if you can't go and you try and you get beat terribly, there goes Brock's ACL or something.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle.
Yeah. How you got embroiled in that little bit of a controversy. I don't know if it was a controversy. I totally got where you were coming from. You were just seeing one of your guys getting blistered, and you're like, "Hey, it wasn't on Colton." And in supporting Colton, some people viewed it as throwing Burford under the bus. And I know that you have a good relationship with both guys. How was that tough? Because you're a guy who does speak his mind. I like that. I think that that's refreshing. And you came to the defense of Colton because you knew the individual situation on the play. He was getting ripped bad, mercilessly on Twitter. And you came to his defense, and it came across like you were pointing the finger at Burford. How did you guys amend that? Because eventually, I'm sure you guys probably talked it out, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him the next day, and we just chopped it up for literally like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it was nothing.
Yeah.
It was really, I think, in the moment which is why I'm starting my podcast, Not Our Fault podcast, with Jamil Douglas. First episode drops in the next couple of days.
Is it just you solo? Did you say you with somebody else?
Jamil Douglas, one of my former teammates.
Nice.
When you see someone online that doesn't understand like a basic play in offensive football, an O-line play, and then I have Colton freaking very sad at breakfast the next day. I was just like, man, F this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then, yeah. But yeah, me and Spencer good. I mean, we worked when I was there. We worked together almost every day. I mean, in individual drills, so we were good.
I'm gonna give you a name. You just give me something on the guy. Just whatever stream of consciousness. Okay. You mentioned some of the guys, so let's go around your room a little bit. Colton, I love Colton. To me, every time I do an interview with him, I always ask him about his pregame rituals and meal. His pregame meal is
I hate the way he eats. Sorry, go ahead.
Two porterhouses and a bowl of buttered noodles. That's what
he doesn't do like sauce or ketchup or like, bro, he's the most basic. He's white bread. That's what he is.
Yes. But he also, one thing I love about him, he doesn't, some guys are like, oh no, I got this guy this week. Oh, I got that guy this week. He's not like that. This guy, I don't want to say Colton McKivitz fears no man, but in some ways he fears no defensive lineman.
Yeah, he's chill. I like when we were before the the what's it called? The championship game versus the Lions. I was giving him so much crap about Aiden Hutchinson. Um,
He's
telling
gonna eat
him
your lunch.
he's a superior white than you. That's what I would tell him. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm not coming out to help you, buddy. I'm going to stay right here, stay in with Jake.
You're on an
Um,
island. Go
yeah,
get him.
I couldn't rattle him. He was chill about it.
No, he's not rattleable. Brendel. Give me something on Brendel.
Old head. Even though we're the same age.
He's like the adult in the room at all times.
He is it's fun you don't want to argue with Jake because he knows a lot about a lot. And it's
Okay.
just like, how do you know
So much.
about this? Yeah.
Trent, give me something on the future Hall of Famer. I mean, it's
The
just
GOAT. I mean,
I love talking to Trent, man. Trent has just got such a good vibe.
First off, I've never seen a guy have 3 lockers in the locker room. But if it's anyone, he deserves it.
For people don't know, these guys all are big guys, and they all have one locker. Trent's got a roped off area where it's almost like I kind of view it as the locker room version of the circular driveway.
Yeah.
Where you know what I mean? You enter one way, you exit the other. It's not, it's
Dude, I played with Charles Woodson. He did not have 3 lockers.
that is awesome. Chris Furster.
What a guy. He's one of my favorite guys. It's funny. We had a really good relationship, and obviously I like to crack a bunch of jokes in meetings and keep everything, chill. And a lot of the guys are scared of Ferd because they don't want to Ferd can get angry. He can yell, which is great. But everyone's like, dude, I don't know how you do it. Like, Fur has like a soft spot for you. You're allowed to say anything. I was like, yeah, we get each other.
Hey, come on, man. He's one of those guys. If you've paid your dues, and God knows you've paid your dues, let's talk about you for a second, because you overcame a lot to make it to the NFL and have this career. And life's not always fair, right? You don't always everybody doesn't get a perfect situation all the way through, and you didn't have a perfect situation, but you made the best of it. You didn't point fingers. You didn't cry about it. If you did, you didn't do it around cameras. I never heard you, woe is me, woe is me. You always kind of like, hey, you know what? This is the hand I was dealt, and I'm going to, and there were struggles along the way growing up and getting to the NFL. It wasn't easy. Do you ever look back and go, man, I shouldn't have made it, and I did, and think about the people that were key along the way, that maybe you wouldn't have made it without this person or that person? Do you ever think about that?
Oh yeah, man, I got a whole list. Coach Steve Todd, Coach Jeremy Herring, Coach Rashad West. Those are all. Coach Todd was my basketball coach in high school. Coach West was the football coach, and Coach Herring was the strength coach there. Coach Swayze out in Miami, the strength coach there. Coach Stoutland, who is he's been in in Philadelphia for, I don't know, 10, 12 years, whatever it's been. He was the offensive line coach. He recruited me to go to Miami. Coach Art Keogh, another offensive line coach that was from Miami. Bobby Johnson, who was my offensive line coach for 4 years of my career. We were together for 7. Coach Tim, who was the assistant coach in Oakland when I first got there, really helped me learn offensive line, center position, and learning defenses. My first 4 years in Oakland, I didn't do much except learn. There was 3 Pro Bowlers: Rodney Hudson, Kelechi Osemele, and Gabe Jackson. Those 3 guys helped my career immensely, just being able to watch them for 4 years, 3 years with Kelechi. Lee Smith, who is one of my best friends now. We're working together at Triple F.
Former Raider, right?
Former Raider, and then we went to the Bills together. We were together my first 6 years of my career, and he really helped mold me into a man that could be respected and a good father.
You got a
all those.
lot, man. You got a lot of guys there.
Yeah, yeah.
You've told me in the past Rodney Hudson was key to your development.
Mm-hmm.
How about
we have a cow? I have a cow, a big black cow, bull that's named Rodney, and he's named after Rodney
named after
Hudson.
Rodney? That's
Yeah.
awesome. How about advice for, like the Niners have a couple good young offensive guard prospects this year. Connor Colby looks pretty good, the Iowa kid, and Drew Moss has been okay, and he looks like he's got a little bit of a future. Nugent is a young player, and then of course there's a lot of people. My son's playing high school football; he's playing JV ball this year, playing corner and receiver. But there's a lot of young kids who watch this stuff. If you're a young offensive lineman, how about two bits of advice, some advice for Colby and Moss as rookies in the NFL, and some advice for just like that high school offensive lineman who dreams of being Jon Feliciano and having a long NFL career. Throw some advice their way.
Yeah, on the spot. Well, for the guys that are in San Francisco, you got to go see Elliot and be in Elliot's room every day.
Who's that?
Elliot Williams. He works. He's like in between the training room and the strength staff. Yeah, he does his own little thing. He has this stuff called Egoscue that I wish I had my whole career. It's like this. It's kind of like yoga, but not really. It really helps get your body in alignment, and you go in there feeling like crap, and you leave feeling brand new.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Did you take advantage of all that stuff, like the red light stuff, the infrared?
100%. I'm getting in cold tub, sauna. I'm getting cold tub almost every day. Sauna 4 or 5 times a week. Red light every morning.
So do your rehab, take care of your body. That's the advice for the pros. How about for the high school kid who just says, "Hey man, they told me to play guard." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, and he's doing it for the first time. You remember what it was like playing ball?
It's been a long time. The thing that's hard to do. Everyone loves playing like 9-on-7, doing the team versus team drills. No, everyone hates doing individual work, but individual work's where you get better.
Really? The beginning of practice, basically.
Yeah, going out there and having a specific thing you want to get better at that day, whether it's making sure your first step is gaining ground or running off the ball, having one thing per day that you want to work towards is great. I also think playing different sports helped me a lot.
Really?
I think playing basketball really helped my feet. So that's one thing I would tell offensive linemen in high school: play some basketball.
Yeah, it's funny you said that too, because I mean, I from being in the locker room, the Niners, right by your locker had a big basket, and it's unbelievable. I mean, Colton McKivitz was an all-state basketball player in the state of Ohio. He was all-state. I couldn't.
That's why he has confidence, but I kill him when we shoot him.
Trent Williams can absolutely drain shots. So it's like, you know what? These guys who play football, you think, oh, they can't play anything else. No, that's a bunch of crap. These guys can play almost anything.
Yeah, I hate, like, nowadays you see all these kids like
specializing.
Yeah, like, bro,
at 12,
you need to work on other parts of, like, your body needs to learn other stuff than besides just football.
On that note, today the Niners put Russell Gage. He's got an injury. They are just the walking wounded, and people are crushing them. And I saw you jumped in. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. People are like, "Oh, the Niners don't stretch. They don't stretch." And you tweeted, "Hey, look, man, I played a long time in the NFL, and I don't think I stretched more than when I was in San Francisco." So try to set the record straight, John, because there's a lot of people that saw, like, in the joint practices, Denver was out there like high school line stretching. The Niners obviously are doing some kind of stretching inside, come out, do some kind of warm up, and then hit the field. But then, because the fans don't necessarily see them sitting there in a hurdler stretch or groin stretch or anything, they're like, "Oh, the Niners don't stretch." And I'm sitting there going, come on, nobody plays football on any level without stretching on, for something. You hit this Do the Niners stretch like the Bills, the Raiders, the Giants, and the other teams that you played for, or is there something to this?
Everyone almost does almost the same thing.
Yeah.
They do the majority of the same thing. I believe in San Francisco we did more. Like
Just inside, you mean? They don't do it in
we
line on the field or practice before
I
camp?
mean, we had like 2 different stretches. We stretched twice. Once and then they also give you time for yourself to do your own stuff. I mean, we get probably about an hour between like lunch and when we had to be out on the field, maybe more. But you have a good chunk of time where a lot of guys go in Elliot's room and then they go to this in the weight room and then we start the stuff outside. Um, but I mean, besides that, they have Christian, George, and Bosa who do everything to the 10th degree, who are out there doing stretching 30 minutes before the stretch even starts. And you don't think like guys see that and they gravitate towards that and that becomes a thing. Like the amount of I've never been around a team that takes care of their body more than the teams I was a part of with the Niners.
Wow. But they have mass injuries, and I'm not sure why. Everybody's
Might be
got
those cell phone towers right behind the
yeah,
football
that's it.
field.
Hey, if you coached, would you have more of a McVay type approach? Like McVay believes, don't play any of your cats and your real guys in the preseason, and just show up on week 1. And he's willing to trade a little rust in September to have all of his money, let's say, on the field come week 1. Shanahan is kind of a little bit more old school. He kind of believes in hey man, if you're going to play football, you got to build up some calluses. And that comes in camp, and that's kind of his philosophy. And so he'd rather be sharp at the beginning, play his guys, maybe lose a guy along the way to an injury, but build those calluses in August. If you coached, which is the better philosophy? McVay or Shanahan?
I don't know. I would do my own thing.
What would your own thing be?
The starters won't play the first one. The second one, they'll play a half. And the third one, they'll play maybe a quarter
Okay.
or a couple drives.
You think that's what guys need? That's what you needed?
Yeah. I mean,
That's like 5 or 6.
maybe not a half, maybe like 3 to 4 series.
Yeah. So maybe like 5 series is what you think you need.
5 to 6 series between 2 games.
Yeah.
And I think the third game should be like 2 to 3 series. Maybe hold on. Let me think about this. Second game, you should get 5 series, 4 to 5. Third game, 2 to 3. If you go out there and have 2 long series that end with touchdowns, you're done.
You need something though, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I was always amazed the first preseason game, not the offense as much, but the defense just looked like they didn't know how to tackle in the first game. And it's like it's almost like it takes the defense a couple weeks.
It's definitely, I
I
think the defense definitely needs it more than the offensive guys because there is a art to tackling that takes some time. You need some live reps.
Yep. Okay, back to I'll give you a name. You give me your first impression. Brock Purdy. What do you think of Brock?
Dog.
Tell us something about Brock that the fans don't know because you know him.
Dude,
you said dog, so they don't even maybe you could explain why you're saying he's a dog.
Well, the best thing about this guy, he can do impressions like none other. It's crazy, dude. I remember
Are you kidding? Are you joking?
No, he's great at it. Like that SpongeBob one is like my diet Dr. Kelp. Like we would be like in the huddle in a game and be like, I would say it and look at him and try to get him to say it. And when he would he plays along. He knows like he won't do it, but then he like if I do it a few times, he'll be like, all right, buddy. Like he really quarterbacks, I always give quarterbacks crap because like they have to be this clean cut, like button up kind of guy.
Sure.
And then it's great when you finally get into who they really are and get to you let them shine a little bit.
Are you surprised at his success?
No, I mean, I think I said this the other day. When I first signed there, I knew I didn't know much about him. I knew that he played well down the stretch, and then he was hurt when I got there, so I didn't see him not like all the OTAs. And then when he came in camp, just the way he was able to control the huddle, and then you see him start playing, you're like, wow, like this guy got some talent. I tell you what, I didn't know he can scramble like he can. That was a surprise to me. I feel like the first time I seen that one clip when he scrambled against the Lions and got a first down, and like I kissed him on the cheek. I was just like, dude, I didn't know you had that in you. It was great. And also, he just took us to the Super Bowl. So,
and he played well in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And that's the other one. It's like, the people who still doubted Brock Purdy after the Super Bowl. It's like, bro, he went up against Mahomes. Tony Romo and the Super Bowl broadcast was like, oh, it was really smart for the Chiefs to make Brock Purdy go out on the field first because he's nervous and he's young and he's going to whiz down his leg. And then he, like 10 minutes later, he's like, well, I guess I was wrong. He looks pretty confident. He looks pretty poised. I mean, he played well in that game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So Gabe Davis, you mentioned Gabe Davis as a guy that
I'm still hoping.
I'm kind of hoping as well. What do you think's going on there? You think he had a surgery and everybody's kind of waiting to see if it rehabs better and further along? Because it seems like the Niners, I mean, he's a 26-year-old guy who's done it in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Has had had a big game in that divisional round game against Kansas City. He's big. He's always been a good receiver going back to college. I think he's a perfect fit. You kind of stated that you think he's a perfect fit. Why do you see Gabe Davis as a good fit with the Niners?
I mean, we love Juwan in the building, and I think Gabe is just another Juwan. I feel like their skill set's very similar, where they'll get in there and take someone out blocking wise, and they can stretch the field and have big plays down the field. Gabe is a great guy. I talk to him frequently. He'll be a great fit for that locker room. For why he's not signed yet, I think it's probably twofold, where he wants to make sure, like he wants to rehab. I think he is very comfortable where he's at with his rehab place, and they've been working hard. And I mean, I've seen him doing crazy amount of weight on split squats. I mean, I think he's about there. So I'm hoping John and Kyle get that done. I know he just recently went to, I think might have been the Steelers for a visit, and then he went back to Buffalo for a visit. And selfishly, if I do come back to San Francisco, I'd love for Gabe to be there.
Do you do anything physically to make sure that if the phone rang, you're ready to roll? I mean, I know you're working on a movie and doing other things, but I mean,
no, there's a gym here. I'm getting that in.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta probably do all the squats, you got to do all the deadlifts and all that benching and everything, right? I mean,
Yeah, so right now I'm really focusing on my quad. My quad really deteriorated last year with the surgery, and it's kind of one of those things where I felt great until I started practicing, and then I couldn't, like, going backwards was really hard. I don't know why the camera keeps going in and out of focus. Yeah, but so going backwards sucked, but going forward and laterally everywhere else, I felt great. And they were just telling me that my quad had deteriorated, and like we did the best we could to get it back, but it just takes some time. So I've been killing this quad since February.
But what about all the upper body work? You still sitting there throwing the plates around?
I mean, I'm still working out. I mean, and
what
working on the
what are you benching these days? What are you like?
Dude, ever since my pec injury, I'm only doing dumbbell benches. I'm old, so I've had rotator cuff on my left. I've had my right pec torn.
And the dumbbells are easier on your pec?
Yeah.
Why's that?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, it seems
My wife hates that I don't I don't get down with the details. If a strength coach or this, because I was helping her rehab her knee, and I've been around great guys that know a bunch about rehab.
Sure.
And they tell me to do something, and I say yes, sir, and I do it, and it works. So when I go to my wife, I say, "Hey, listen, you're gonna do this, this, and this. Well, what does this work on? What does this do? Listen, don't ask questions. Just do it. You're gonna get better. I don't need all the little minutia stuff."
What's the most you've ever put up on the bench?
Bench was never my best, but I got.
I gotta think you're at least 315, right?
Oh yeah, like
375,
405.
405.
My power clean was probably my best thing, and that was 380.
Who's the strongest weight room guy you've ever seen? The Niners used to have a guy named Kentavious Street that was just ridiculous.
It's got to be between Gabe Jackson and Trent, but I don't really see Trent go super hard anymore because of his age. But I've heard stories of Trent doing outrageous numbers.
Cars,
so
cars.
I haven't physically seen it,
right?
So I got to say Gabe Jackson.
Gabe Jackson was a house, man. Former Mississippi State guard, just a freaking absolute, as wide as he was, tall, as strong as heck. Do you guys lift in season like the same, or do you go lighter in season than you go like out of season, or do some guys just go freak, man? I go heavy out of season, in season, it doesn't matter. Is it important that you keep lifting heavy in season, or does your body need to kind of have you guys go lighter?
Oh yeah, I mean DP does a great job over there. There's a bunch of different workouts that are available to us depending on how our body feels. But you definitely want to keep lifting. Maybe not go as heavy, but it also depends on how many reps you got that week. You got 60, 70 reps. You want to get your body moving, but you don't want to tax it anymore. It needs time to recover. DP does a great job over there doing that.
You can't miss Monday, the feeling. What does an NFL offensive lineman feel like on a Monday after a
Mondays are
game?
fun. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday's
really
bad.
sucks.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like a car crash. Everything hurts. But you miss it. I miss it. I miss feeling like
that's awesome. It's a car crash, but it's a car crash that you miss.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more. JJ, what do you think of Jennings? He seems like a very powerful guy in the room. He's obviously got a contract situation and a calf situation. He's a very powerful presence in the room. He seems like a leader. He talks a lot. If he's there.
Yeah, if you're in a building, you know if JJ's around.
He's another guy who can play hoops. Another guy who can shoot the heck out of it, man.
Mm-hmm. I love Juwan. I mean, he played. I saw a quote that said, I think they were talking about who's the receiver in the Eagles.
Devontae, AJ Brown,
the big one.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. They said, I saw someone say like he plays receiver like a linebacker. But that's how I feel about Juwan. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen a more aggressive person playing receiver than Juwan. What he does, I mean, that clip versus the Seahawks a couple years ago on third down where there's no way he's getting the first down, but he slaps the guy by and then carries two other guys like 4 yards. And what he does in the run game, the only person that comes close is Gabe Davis, and sorry, Gabe, I think Juwan has you by a little.
Wow, he's a tough guy. He's it's funny. When I worked in the Canadian League, there was this football coach, and he's like, some guys play because they're for the money, some guys play for the girls, and he's like, some guys play to just F stuff up. And it's like
that's Juwan.
That's Juwan. He just wants to F somebody up out there. All right, a couple last ones. Chris Kasarik. I mean, I love if I got to hang out in training camp on that field in the heat. I'd like to stand there and listen to Chris just
This dude popped his shoulder out in a walkthrough. Just no contact, just yelling and being Chris Eric. It's hilarious.
He's wild, man.
I've
crazy.
hated a lot of D-line coaches just because they're the enemy in training camp.
Sure.
But Kasarik is just, I would love just watching him just do anything. I just want to be in the background and watch what Kasarik's doing because he's wild.
Oh.
He's always have just a mouthful of dip in his mouth.
Exactly. The guy's got a half a Copenhagen can in there.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at Alfred Collins, who's, more of a read and react, nose guard, run stuffer, doesn't really get off the ball. His whole thing is get up the field, get off the ball. And, he's doing these one-on-ones, and you can hear Chris from like 50 yards away, keep going. You got
to get Barch. Barch does a great Kasarik.
Does he?
Yeah.
Barch is a character, huh?
He's something.
Barch is a character.
Me and Barch are like opposite, and he's always so positive, and I love to dwell in the negative because I think it's fun. Like,
right?
I'm not overly negative, but I love saying the negative stuff. Just
sure. That's why the podcast is going to be kick ass.
Yeah. So I would always try to bring Barch down. Just he would be so happy and so just like, oh guys, I was like, shut up, Barch.
He's a character.
Yeah, he's great.
Who's the baddest guy you've ever had to block in the NFL or in college? You just think of the baddest guys you've ever gone up against. You just say, oh my God, this guy was he was an all-day mother to block this guy.
In college, I would say Dominic Easley.
Not familiar with him.
He played for Florida.
Okay.
He was outrageous, but he tore his ACL a couple times and lost a step. My first start was against the Packers when they had Mike Daniels and
short nose guard from Iowa
and Julius Peppers.
Former basketball players, 6'6",
yeah,
290.
That was Rodney. I learned a valuable lesson that day. Because I was a rookie. I was definitely in a Miami Hurricane headspace where I would talk a lot of shit and try to rile the D lineman up. And after the first series, Rodney pulled me. He's like, "Hey man, you don't wake sleeping giants." And I was like, "No, F that. Like, I'm ready." Like, and then Mike Daniels. We had a battle for the rest of the game, and I was like, Rod, that's a valuable lesson I learned that day. When guys are really, really good, you don't got to talk too much shit to them. You let them we can just play some football today.
Yep. Don't poke the sleeping bear.
Yeah. Especially if they're a little crazy. Mike got a little edge to him.
Speaking of a little crazy, is anybody ever gonna sign Christian Wilkins? What is he? He's more than a little crazy, huh?
I don't know. I don't even know what I hear.
Yeah.
I didn't. That situation, I was just talking. I was having fun. I had no idea what was going on.
But you've seen him grab guys and stuff. I mean, there's video. Guys know. I mean,
if you go back to his rookie year, his Miami versus the Bills, the first time we played, we were at home. He didn't make it far into that game. I think it was the first series, he got thrown out for punching one of our guys. And I take full credit of getting him to that point of him punching somebody.
Nice. You pushed him to the brink.
Might have been 5 plays into the game.
Good. I mean, he's a talent, but he's off. He's off a little bit. All right, 2 last ones and we'll bolt. Shanahan. We never really asked the players that much about Shanahan. Sometimes Shanahan seems kind of aloof and not with the players. Other times you're like, man, this guy seems like he's one of the players. hanging with Rick Ross, and he's
Yeah.
he's wearing Yeezys, and he just, I don't know. I like Shanahan. I think Shanahan is a guy that, you know what, he's going to tell you the truth, and if you can't handle the truth, you're not going to like him very much. But I kind of feel like he tells you the truth, no matter how brutal it may be. I can always handle the truth, even if it's brutal. That's the way I'd want someone to shoot me straight. I feel like he shoots guys straight, but I don't know. I never played for him. What was your perspective on Shanahan? Did you have a relationship with him?
Yeah, we've had a couple talks, just us two. He is a tortured soul. All he does, his mind is always just on football and getting better. And like I feel like there's a lot of times he's not there. He's not with us because he's watching film or he's in the room, but he's just always has this mind that's just like trying to get better and thinking about football and thinking about different plays or different things to come up with. He is I've never been around a coach like him. He knows everything about every position. For being an offensive coordinator or a head coach and understanding offensive line play like the way he does, it's impressive. And I made a joke earlier about his team meetings and how long they are, which they are super long, but like you get to learn so much in those meetings, whether it's the depth of a linebacker drop or what the quarterback's looking for in this route concept versus this coverage, and how that all ties into the offensive line. He's an impressive guy, and then you get to meet Kyle, the man, and he's in there. You get to meet him. Maybe he's around maybe 3 or 4 times during the season, and the rest is this tortured mind that's just going through all this football knowledge 24/7.
Wow. It's good stuff, man. Last one for you, man. I really appreciate your time. Awesome to see you, and wish you luck with the movie and success with the podcast. I know you'll have success with the podcast. But what's a realistic goal, you think, for the Niners? I mean, they got an easy schedule, they say, right? I mean, we've seen it. It's one of the easiest statistical schedules. But that doesn't mean a whole lot. Just because teams get better, teams get worse, guys retire, new guys come. It's a new deal every year. But some people are thinking, hey, you know what? This team's going to be really, really good. They're going to win 12, 13 games. They're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC. They're going to the NFC Championship game, and they got a shot at the Super Bowl. Other people go like, no. It's a really young team. They're going to struggle. They're going to go, 8-9, 9-8. They're going to be a middling type team. What do you think, John? What's a realistic, these guys and the talent, the league. I mean, what do you think? What's a realistic expectation for 2025 49ers, you think?
I think they win the division first and foremost, and then they have a deep playoff run. I 100% believe in this team to be a Super Bowl contender. If you have a healthy Christian, healthy Kittle, healthy Brock, healthy BA, like I think the sky's the limit. I'm excited to have Solid back. That's
big.
I've never talked to him. We don't know each other, but just a fan of what he does and his success that he's had. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a real good year.
Good.
And I think Brock's gonna take another step, and he's gonna cement himself as a top 5 quarterback, which I think already he is. It's hard to say, with Pat having all the accolades. Brock needs a couple years to get some more accolades to cement him in 1, 2, 3 spot. But I think he's on his way.
Yeah. No, you hear Brock talk about the Super Bowl, and it's like this guy sees himself winning not just one, but maybe more than one, and it'll be fun to see it possibly come to fruition. Hey, man, give the podcast. I know people, you teased it before, but people are going to want to check that out. So tell people the name of the podcast and when it drops. And thanks for jumping on, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Not Our Fault podcast. It's me and my buddy Jamil Douglas, for my former teammate. We'll be talking offensive line play and talking shit. It'll be fun. First episode will drop probably, what's today? Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Probably be Friday or Saturday of this week. And then Tuesdays or Wednesdays, we got to figure that out. It's either going to be Tuesday or Wednesdays every week for the season.
Why are the offensive linemen always the best interviews?
We're the most normal.
It does seem like that, doesn't it? I mean, it's like offensive line. I don't even care what team you're talking about. You want to go into an NFL locker room. You want to get a great interview. Man, go talk to the O lineman. I mean, I thought Banks was a good interview. Brendel's a pretty good interview. Colton, in his own way, is a good interview. You've been a good interview. You know what I'm saying? It's like the O linemen. They have. I mean, it's a unique perspective that you guys have on the game.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we're the blue collar guys.
Jon Feliciano. Jon, thanks again for jumping on the Krug Show, jumping on the leader, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Good talking.
Jon Feliciano.